You are Locked On Dodgers Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Los Angeles on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Well, this is getting tiresome. Another ugly butt whooping at the hands of the Diamondbacks. Just so much bad baseball from the Giants. I'm sorry, the Dodgers right now. I felt like they were facing the Giants, as the Dodgers have now lost 4 of 6. And the 2 wins in those 6 were fairly miraculous. A walk-off to start this series against the Diamondbacks, and then that 11th inning 7-run affair, I think, for the Dodgers, which, again, that was nice. They were both nice. They're both exciting, good wins, but not what you're looking for, right? This Dodger team should not be playing sub-500 teams like this. They should not need to win games against teams like the Giants and the Diamondbacks in cardiac fashion, pulling one out of their ass. And when they lose, it should be close. It shouldn't be this, like it was last night, like it is tonight. It's just ugly. I am super frustrated and discouraged. I just can't figure out what's going on. There's just a lot of things to criticize and break down and complain about. Welcome to the Locked On Dodgers Postcast. I am Pete Fox on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. And you can listen to us on the Locked On Dodgers podcast feed. I've been covering sports in LA dating back to 2007 for ESPN LA and NBC Sports Radio. Tonight's episode of the Locked On Dodgers Postcast is brought to you by Booking.com. Booking.yeah, the right stay can make you a fan of any city, even your rival city. Check out Booking.com for your stay today. That's not over yet. They're heading to the bottom of the 9th, but the Dodgers bats have once again been completely silenced by the Diamondbacks pitching. Top of the lineup was completely ineffective other than Teoscar Hernandez, who had a couple of hits, but nothing really to show for it. Shohei Ohtani struck out 3 times and didn't seem to give a rat's ass about it. Didn't seem to care. Didn't seem to have any sort of desire to hit the ball. He was just up there flailing like, I'm tired, I'm injured, I don't care. I mean, it was ugly. How about put the ball in play? How about shorten up and make some contact? Here's an idea, Shohei Ohtani. I know you're a great hitter, but when you're bad, you are really bad. You take it to another level. How about using these 2 things right above your nose and above your mouth and kind of below your hairline, called eyes, to look at the ball instead of just swinging with your head, checking out the front row above the dugout? Could his eyes and the top of his body be any more off of the ball? I don't know that it's humanly possible. God, it's just so bad when it's bad. But the strange part, when it's good, he's still kind of doing that. So that's what's scary about Shohei Ohtani. It is a fine line between awful and great. It can go bad just like that because his technique, his mechanics are just so counterintuitive to good baseball. Oh, and then when did we go through this? I feel like it was in the Giants series. Who's the leadoff hitter for the Giants? I forget his name now. They kept throwing him fastballs over the plate, letter high. And what did that guy do? Rip him down the line for doubles. What did they do over and over and over again in this series to Christian Walker? Throwing him fastballs over the middle, letter high. I'm like, are they stupid or arrogant or both, or just inexperienced? I think it was a little bit of the inexperience with Landon Knack, because Dave Roberts took him aside on the bench and started talking to him. But It almost seemed like Landon Knack didn't know that Christian Walker had been hitting home runs almost every time he came up to the freaking plate. Could you throw him a more easy ball to hit over the plate? The first one, I will say, was a little down. It wasn't a letter high cock shot, but it was pretty easy. And he just took a BP type of swing at it and it went out. The second one was almost like they put it on a tee for him. Finally, they figured out, let's intentionally walk this guy. And for that, Alex Vetzia made the Diamond Dogs list. Or no, actually, he actually got him out. Somebody else intentionally walked him. I'm like, yeah, pitch around the dude. Pull your head out of your backside. Stop throwing Christian Walker fastballs that he can hit over the fence with ease. I have never seen a guy have that much ease hitting home runs in a stadium against a team. Almost like they were in on it. Like somebody was betting on it. Hey, don't throw Christian Walker anything off speed or outside of the zone. Just give him fastballs. Like it was his dad up there throwing batting practice to him. I mean, it was just unbelievable. My blood boils when I see that. Throw the ball away from him. You don't have to throw a fastball over the zone. Put some cut on it. Put some action on it. Bury some sliders in the dirt. That's what they did the last time up. They kind of intentionally walked him, which is fine. Yes, this is a whole different ball game if Christian Walker doesn't hit 2 home runs. You know damn well the Dodgers were completely down in the dumps after that first inning. Jock Peterson, middle of the road, over the middle, fastball, turns on it, rips it down the line, home run, 3-1 fastball. Get behind, got to try to throw a strike. But Jock Peterson's been hitting the ball, especially against the Dodgers. That whole vendetta thing, former team, etc. And then right behind him, Christian Walker. Today, 2 for 3, 2 home runs, 3 runs scored, 3 RBI, 9 home runs in 9 games against the Dodgers. 9 home runs in 9 games. He's hit, what is the number now? I can't even remember. It keeps turning. 18, 19 home runs against the Dodgers, period. Not just this season. It's 9-9 this season. So it's like, hello. Don't give him anything to hit. Do not make it any easy on him. It really felt like Landon Knack just didn't know, right? I'm a rookie. I'm dumb, confident, cocky, arrogant. I'm just going to throw it up there. Stubborn, maybe stubbornness is part of it. That, I'm going to get him this time. No, you're not. It's just unbelievable. Where is it? 2 home runs in back-to-back games, 9-9. He's 22 on the season. I believe it was 17 after last night. So 19 home runs versus the Dodgers. Landon Knack was just average, I guess you would say. They had to keep him in there because the bullpen was stretched yesterday and the day before and against the Giants. So they needed him to go 4 or 5 innings. He went 4 1/3, 4 runs on 4 hits, striking out 6. He did that with a 4-seam. The first strikeout looked good. I thought, all right, here we go. He's feeling pretty good. There was a 4-seamer that had some run away from a left-handed hitter. That looked good. Then he threw a changeup, which was nice. Then a slider, 4-seam, change, 4-seam. He was mixing it up. He struck out the side in the 4th. I was like, all right, he got back on track. Now he needs some offense. But no, Shohei Ohtani striking out. Freddie Freeman was exhausted. Teoscar Hernandez got a couple of hits, but nothing clutch. And then probably the worst part of this game, with 2 outs, the Dodgers couldn't get anybody out with 2 outs. They'd get 2 outs rather quickly. Bang, bang. 8 RBI today with 2 outs for the Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks. That's how I feel. They're a bunch of demons. The Diamondbacks. Oh my God. My subconscious speaking there. Oh man alive. I need some counseling. I need someone to talk me off the ledge here. This is just awful. What is wrong with this team? Not having Will Smith in there was an issue today for sure. But the 3 runs, courtesy, not all 3, 2 of the 3, courtesy of Austin Barnes, the backup catcher. All right, we'll get to an abbreviated Diamond Dogs list after this. Thanks for joining me. I hope we can kind of console each other here for the next 20 minutes and share some thoughts and maybe have a little bit of counseling because I'm just frustrated and boiling. This is the Locked On Dodgers Postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done, when you need to commiserate. And thanks for listening on the Locked On Dodgers podcast feed. Tonight's show is brought to you by Ibotta. Where is that Ibotta thing? There it is. Ibotta. Let me tell you about what's going on with Ibotta. Is this the Ibotta script? Yes, it is. Sandals, sunscreen, snacks for the kids. What do these things have in common? You're probably buying a ton again this summer, but don't stress about the cost. Use Ibotta and get cash back on all your purchases when you stock up on these kinds of essentials all summer long. Ibotta is a free app that lets you earn cash back every time you shop. Earn on hundreds of items from groceries to beauty supplies, even toys, so you can make sure you're beating inflation no matter what you're purchasing. And if your wife or husband or significant other gives you crap for overspending, you can say, hey, look at all the money I'm saving. The average Ibotta user earns $256 per year. That could save the cost of an entire shopping trip, airfare to visit family, presents for the birthdays, maybe just some frivolous weekend that you feel like you need when the Dodgers have dropped 4 of their last 6 and are getting spanked around by teams that are far inferior to them. So, something just you get away and feel better about life in general. It's time to join Ibotta with over 50 million users. Right now, Ibotta is offering listeners $5 just for trying Ibotta. Use the code LOCKEDONMLB when you register. Go to the App Store or Google Play Store, download the free Ibotta app, start earning cash back, and use the code LOCKEDONMLB. That's Ibotta, IBOTTA, in the Google Play Store or the App Store, and use the code LOCKEDONMLB. All right, Dodgers, another ugly loss. They give up 4 in the 9th. Not that mattered. They still would have lost 5-3 because the offense was just once again run down and listless. The Arizona Diamondbacks 9 runs on 12 hits. The Dodgers 3 runs on 6 hits. Here is the Diamond Dogs list for tonight. Teoscar Hernandez in at number 5, a single to right in the first inning. That was good to see. Get some runners on. The Dodgers have been good early in the games of late. One of my complaints has been that they just haven't been able to put anything together. Tonight, another case of that. They got some runners on in the first, but nothing comes of it. Number 4, Andy Pages, a single in the 4th to lead off the inning, which was good to see. But Andy Pages had a bit of an off night as well. Had 2 hits, but one of his outs came after Freddie Freeman was up there just battling. I think it was an 11 pitch at bat for Freeman against Gallen. And then what does Pages do? Come up and swing at the first pitch and fouls out. That happened another time later in the game. I think it was Chris Taylor had a long at bat, and then Kike came up, swang at the first pitch, weak ground ball. It's like you're working the pitcher, you're stretching him out, and then the next guy up lets him off the hook. Watch a pitch. Try to put the ball in play. Be more selective. And Kike's not a rookie, obviously, But Pages, that's a total rookie move. Like they were, everyone was like saying it in the booth, like, what is going on? It's just bad baseball. Get up there and work, be selective. How did the Diamondbacks score 8 runs with 2 hits? I'm sorry, with 2 outs today. They were not walking up there doing the Dodgers any favors. They were getting good pitches and hitting them by being selective. Dodgers did not have a clue about that tonight, and that's another reason that they come away here looking so bad. 9-3, the final for number 3 on the list. Austin Barnes, the 2 RBI jam shot flare right over second base of the 4th. That was nice to see. 4-3 at that point. Diamondbacks on top. Joe Davis was very encouraged by the hit, saying a brand new ball game, like close to a brand new ball game. They're still down, and 1 run for the Dodgers right now is challenging. So I wouldn't call it a brand new ball game. The Dodgers are back in it, would be fair to say, but not a new ball game at 4-3. Because as we can see, the Dodgers did not score again. Alex Vesia for number 2 on the list. He did finally get Christian Walker out on a up and in fastball, ground ball in the 7th. But Christian Walker had already done all of the damage that he needed to. 2 for 3, both of those home runs. Back-to-back home runs in back-to-back nights. That's pretty remarkable. They mentioned a stat that only one other time versus the Dodgers in their history as a player hit 5 home runs in 3 or fewer games. It was some other old dude in Brooklyn. He did it in 2 games, hit 5 home runs against the Dodgers in 2 games. I believe it was at the Polo Grounds. It was a Giant, I believe. It was funny. The guy had like 14 or 15 home runs on the season, and 5 of them against the Dodgers in 2 games. So Christian Walker, the second guy in their history to do that. He did it in 3 games, obviously. 1 on Tuesday, 2 yesterday, and 2 tonight. Dodgers got 2 infield hits down the third baseline. This is how bad they were tonight. 2 of their 6 hits, actually 3 if you want to count Austin Barnes' 2 RBI jam shot, 3 of their 6 hits were not even squared up. Flares off the end of the bat. The 2 in the 5th, both of them, swinging bunts down the third baseline. The first one was legged out by Teo, and the second one by Pages, the third baseman. Suarez just ate it. And of course, the Dodgers stranded them at first and second, I believe. But yeah, Ohtani tonight was really, really frustrating because he didn't even threaten. 0 for 3, 3 Ks. He got on base with a walk, but the at-bats when the Dodgers needed to get a rally going were just not good. They were uninterested, uninspired, just kind of up there flailing, and the Diamondbacks, on the other hand, just seem to do everything right. One of the things that frustrates the hell out of me when the Dodgers lose like this to a team that's sub 500 is when they lose to a team that is scrappy. And I just don't feel like the Dodgers are scrappy, at least not right now. I feel like the Dodgers are that team that feels like they can just go out there and throw their jerseys on the field and they're going to win. And I think they need more. I don't know how you get more scrappy, but Freddie Freeman is a guy that's been red hot through the month of June, started off the month of July really good. And I'm not going to point fingers really at anybody. I just kind of feel like it's an overall attitude that the Dodgers don't have right now. Roy thinks the Dodgers don't say we don't need more pitching. I said before, and I'll say it again. I'm okay. I mean, yeah, it's hard to argue that right now, Roy. It's hard to argue anything. You guys could say this is what the Dodgers need. And I'm going to be like, yeah, probably, because it feels like they need a lot. It's not like, oh, here's one little issue that we could clean up. No, They need attitude. They need some more pitching for sure. I feel like the guys that came out there tonight, Vessia's been good. You're not going to criticize him. Bonda's been good, although he gave up 1 run on 3 hits over an inning and 2/3. His ERA is 1.3, Roy. He's not terrible, nor is Vesia. Ramirez, on the other hand, is a guy that they had up in April, early May, and they sent him back down. He might be sent back down again, giving up 4 runs on 5 hits over 2 innings. I feel like another starter would be helpful. We just don't know what they're going to get from Walker Buehler when he comes back. Joe Kelly is on the mend. Did a rehab inning, I believe, in Rancho Cucamonga for the Chiquitas. I don't know why the Rancho Cucamonga's Quakes nickname is the Chiquitas, other than that Joe Kelly has that whole mariachi thing going on, but I couldn't quite figure that out. But yeah, there's definitely some holes in the pitching staff. And here's the bigger issue, Roy. The guys that have been good lately have not. They've kind of run out of gas. So are you saying that they've been exposed, or are these guys just going through a little bit of a bad streak right now? Because, I don't know that just because these guys that have been solid for the Dodgers throughout the season, and especially of late with regard to starters, have had bad outings and they've kind of bunched them all up and put them back to back. I don't know that means, all right, we got to retool the whole pitching staff. And the bullpen is still, if not the best, one of the best in all of baseball. So, Glasnow's had some bumpy outings. Gavin Stone, a bumpy outing last time out. James Paxton got rocked in San Francisco. But those guys have been good. So maybe James Paxton, I know we've talked about that. I saw a lot of comments after that game on Sunday when he gave up the 9 runs on 12 hits, the most in his career. The comments were he just got exposed. And he's been a guy that has, Craig's mentioned this a bunch too in the comments, that Paxton has been a guy that has bent and not broken all year. Well, maybe people have figured out now that, how to break him. Obviously Yamamoto being out is something that is causing them issues. So need to get him back. And maybe there's another guy out there, a free agent that they could acquire at the deadline that would help the starting rotation. And again, big question mark hanging over Walker Buehler's head. Daniel Hudson's been good. Evan Phillips has been good. Bobby Miller's a big question mark hanging over his head as well. So, a couple of these guys, I feel like you're right, Roy, that they need some more help, and good pitching does win World Series for sure. But I don't know that the Dodgers are all that bad. We got to hit the final break and come back to put a very ugly bow on this disaster tonight. 9-3 the final. Dodgers fall, dropping 2 of 3 and 4 of their last 6. I'm Pete Fox. This is the Locked On Dodgers Postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel. You can also listen to us on the Locked On Dodgers podcast feed. Tonight's show brought to you by Game Time. I'm a big fan of Game Time. They have killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their best price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying tickets, and it's fast and easy. A great way to buy tickets to everything, not just sports, music, comedy, theater, and many other events near you. The best part for me is if you wait to the last minute, or last hour rather, you can save up to 60% and those views from the seat, so you know exactly what you're getting into. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use the code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem the code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off your first purchase. Download the Game Time app today and give it a try. I guarantee you it will save you money. Tonight's show also brought to you by Booking.com. Booking.yeah. With summer travel heating up, especially travel for baseball games, it is time to explore those U.S. cities you always secretly wanted to learn more about. Yes, we're talking about your rival's city. I'm pretty ticked off at the Arizona Diamondbacks right now, but I still love Phoenix and especially Scottsdale, and I'll be there in a couple of weeks visiting with some friends in the nice cool dead of July when it's going to be 120 or so, perfect golfing weather with hotels, bed and breakfast, vacation rentals, resorts, and so much more. Booking.com. You might just find your perfect stay, even if it's in your baseball rival's city. From hotels that overlook stadiums like Petco to family-friendly resorts, Booking.com has so many choices across the U.S. for your summer travel this MLB season. The right stay can make you a fan of any U.S. city, even your rivals. Book today on Booking.com on the site or in the Booking.com app. Our Dodgers, a 9-3 loss. They are struggling in many different departments right now. Roy, the general manager in training. We need 4 shutdown starters in the playoffs. I've been saying this all season. I just did not come up with this assessment recently. I know. But here's the thing, Roy. It's not the postseason yet. You're not wrong. But it's not the postseason yet. So to say that the Dodgers need 4 shutdown starters right now, I don't know that that is true. So I'm sure they are aware of that, but maybe not. Maybe not. Just like they weren't aware of throwing 92-mile-an-hour fastballs over the middle of the plate to Christian Walker generally results in a home run, at least against the Dodgers at Chavez Ravine. So maybe not. Hopefully they know that. I feel like a lot of people try to get through the playoffs with 3 starters, but four is fairly essential and a better place to be. And for me, honestly, I feel like the bullpen is a bigger deal. It is more important because later in games, when it's a high leverage situation, because these days you're not going to have a starter going more than, especially in the playoffs, you're not going to have them going more than 6 or 7. They're going to hope to get 5 and then burn through 4 relievers an inning at a time for those high leverage situations where they have stats and sabermetrics to tell you this pitcher needs to face this guy. So that's what they do in the playoffs. So, obviously Tyler Glasnow is going to be one of those guys. We hope that Yamamoto is one of those guys. And it feels like Gavin Stone is going to be one of those guys. So who's the 4th one? That's really hard to say. Hopefully it's Walker Buehler because that guy's got postseason experience, but it could be somebody else. You just don't know. The fact of the matter is that I am very worried about what comes next as the Milwaukee Brewers head to town, a first place team that is now, I believe, tied with the Dodgers overall record wise, and they're playing very well. They're 7-3 over their last 10, or the Dodgers are 6-4. But the 3 or 4 of those games are against the Chicago White Sox, and I don't know that that should be part of this conversation. The Dodgers have dropped 4 of their last 6, and they were all very, very ugly. The Brewers 52-36, Dodgers now 53-35. So Dodgers still have a bit of an edge on the Milwaukee Brewers. So let's hope that I don't know. When this kind of things happens and you're in the clubhouse after the game and you're in there talking to Dave Roberts and the players, they use the term turn the page quite frequently. This is a turn the page game. This was a turn the page series. I feel like hopefully it was a bit of a wake up call for them that they have to be more aggressive at the plate. They have to be more selective. They have to be more scrappy. That's, I don't know where you find that. I don't know how you create that, but the Dodgers just don't have that right now. They don't have that scrappy, gritty attitude. They have we're going to score a bunch of runs in 1 or 2 innings. Hopefully it's, early in the game and we can make it stand up, or we'll just come back at the end of the game. And that's not a good method. That is not a good philosophy for winning baseball games. So, Tyler Glasnow will face off against Aaron Civale. That's an Italian name right there, I'm assuming. That game will, of course, be tomorrow, 7:10. Glassdown comes in with an 8-5 record, a 3.23 ERA. Savale is 2-6 with a 5.07 ERA. So the Dodgers have a lot of work to do, a lot of improving to do, and let's hope it starts tomorrow. Appreciate you guys jumping in and participating and listening to me grouse. I hope we all feel a little bit better after kind of getting it off of our chest. I know I do. And you guys have all made some very good points here. I think the Dodgers definitely need improvement in a variety of different areas. And I hope it starts tomorrow. And I hope they can reel off a nice 5 out of 6 against the Brewers. And then whoever they face right after the Brewers is also a very good team. Let me look that up here real quick because that's definitely going to be in their heads. You know, I don't want to say they're looking forward, but right after the Brewers, Dodgers are off to face the Philadelphia Phillies in Philadelphia is it Broad Street? Yeah, I think it is. Anyway, Philly's best team in baseball. So, you know, let's hope that they focus on the Brewers, get some momentum rolling. So when they head off to Philadelphia for that series that starts on Tuesday, they are in a good headspace and feeling good about themselves and on a bit of a roll. Thanks for joining me. I am Pete Fox. This is the Locked On Dodgers Postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel. You can also listen to us on the Locked On Dodgers podcast feed. Don't forget to check out Jeff and Vince with their take on what's going on with the Dodgers lately on the Locked On Dodgers podcast feed. Have a good night. We'll talk tomorrow.